Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's list has a unifying spirit that becomes clear the moment you lay all 5 watches side by side. These are watches with presence. Not the quiet, understated presence of a dress watch making its case through restraint, but the bold, deliberate, unapologetic presence of watches that have decided exactly what they want to say and commit to saying it at full volume. From blacked-out Swiss dive tools to motorsport-inspired automatics, from textured ocean-going sport watches to cocktail-hour artistry and skeleton dials that put the movement on permanent display, every watch on today's list has a strong point of view, a confident identity, and the execution to back it up completely. If you have been searching for your next watch and want something that will command attention from the first wearing, this list was assembled with you in mind. Let's get into it. Number 5, Longines HydroConquest Full Black. The Longines HydroConquest is already one of the finest Swiss dive watches available at its price, a watch we have praised on this channel for its L8888 caliber, its ceramic bezel, and its meticulous bracelet finishing. But the Full Black edition takes that already excellent foundation and transforms it into something with an entirely different personality, darker, more dramatic, and more visually arresting than any standard sports watch configuration has a right to be. The Full Black treatment applies PVD coating throughout case, bracelet, bezel, crown, and case back in a deep, matte-finished black that absorbs light rather than reflecting it and gives the watch a monolithic, almost architectural presence on the wrist. The contrast dial, with its luminous indices and hands standing out against that black canvas, achieves a legibility and visual drama simultaneously, a combination that most watches must choose between rather than accomplish together. What makes the Full Black particularly compelling is the quality of the underlying watch that carries the coating. This is not a costume applied to a mediocre base. The L888 caliber with its 72-hour power reserve and silicone escapement is unchanged. The 300-meter water resistance is unchanged. The ceramic bezel insert is unchanged. Everything that makes the HydroConquest an outstanding dive watch remains fully intact. The Full Black edition simply adds a visual intensity that makes wearing it feel like a deliberate and considered statement. Number 4, Tissot T-Race MotoGP Automatic. The Tissot T-Race MotoGP Automatic is a watch that does not whisper. From the moment it arrives on the wrist, it announces its motorsport credentials with the unbridled enthusiasm of a race engine at full throttle, and it earns every decibel of that announcement through genuine partnership rather than mere licensing. Tissot has been the official timekeeper of MotoGP since 2001, meaning the clocks and stopwatches timing the world's fastest motorcycle racers on circuits from Catalunya to Sepang bear the same name on the dial as the watch on your wrist. That connection is not decorative, it is real, and it gives the T-Race MotoGP a legitimacy that most motorsport-themed watches at any price simply cannot claim. The 45mm case is bold and technically sculpted, with a pronounced crown protector, a rubber-integrated strap that wraps the wrist with athletic confidence, and a dial of maximum visual complexity, tachymeter scale, racing-inspired sub-register layout, and carbon fiber texturing that references the materials found on the bikes themselves. The automatic movement inside delivers the mechanical soul that a watch of this character demands, and the overall build quality, robust, purposeful, precise, reflects the standards you would expect from the brand trusted with official MotoGP timekeeping duties. Limited to the season of its release and numbered accordingly, the MotoGP edition carries a specificity and collectability that standard T-Race models cannot replicate. Number 3, Oris Aquis Date Relief. The Oris Aquis Date Relief takes one of the watch world's finest dive watch designs and adds a dimension that transforms the experience of wearing it. texture. The Relief Edition introduces an embossed sculptural pattern to the dial surface that references the ripple patterns of water in motion, concentric wave forms radiating outward from the center of the dial in a three-dimensional relief that catches light at every angle and turns the simple act of reading the time into a small, repeated visual pleasure. It is a detail that sounds modest in description and reveals its full impact only in person under shifting natural light, when the dial surface comes alive with depth and movement that a flat-printed dial can never achieve. Beyond that defining dial treatment, the Relief is the full Aquis package that Oris has refined to such compelling completeness. 300 meters of water resistance, unidirectional ceramic bezel, the signature transparent band at the dial edge revealing the rotor beneath, and a reliable automatic caliber keeping dependable time with the solid confidence of a watch built for genuine aquatic use. The deep blue and vibrant green dial options work particularly beautifully with the relief texture, the surface pattern amplifying the inherent color depth of those sunray finishes into something genuinely luminous. Number 2, Seiko Presage SSA391J1 Cocktail time. Every list needs the watch that stops people mid-sentence when they see it, the one that prompts the reaching across the table, the turning of the wrist under the restaurant light, the quiet insistence that the person next to you needs to look at this. On today's list, that watch is the Seiko Presage SSA391J1. The SSA391J1 belongs to the original Cocktail Time series, the collection that announced to the watch world that Japanese dial artistry had arrived at a price point no one expected, and it represents that series at its most immediately captivating. The dial is a deep, layered ombre of blue and violet that shifts from midnight navy at the edges to an electric, almost supernatural blue-violet at the center, a color that does not exist in nature and does not behave the same way twice under changing light. It references the atmosphere of Tokyo's twilight cocktail bars at the precise moment the city transitions from day to night, that charged, luminous hour when everything seems heightened and beautiful. The guilloche texture beneath the color adds a dimensional depth that makes the surface move and shimmer with the wrist, and the applied Roman numerals at 12 and 6 anchor the composition with classical elegance that balances the modernity of the color perfectly. The 40.5mm stainless steel case is slim and refined. Number 1, Maurice Lacroix Aikon Skeleton. The Maurice Lacroix Aikon Skeleton takes the top position on today's list because it accomplishes something that almost no watch at its price has the ambition or the craft to attempt. It makes the movement the spectacle, strips the watch to its functional minimum, and in doing so creates a visual experience of such raw mechanical drama that it renders everything around it temporarily invisible. Where the standard Icon Automatic is a watch of bold architectural character, the Skeleton version is that same architecture taken to its most extreme and most compelling conclusion. The dial is gone entirely. In its place is a latticed framework of precisely cut and finished bridges, plates, and wheels. The movement itself serving as the dial, exposed front and back through sapphire crystals on both sides so that the watch becomes a window into its own working rather than an object that conceals its mechanism behind a decorated surface. The balance wheel oscillates in plain view, the mainspring barrel, the gear train, the pallet fork, all of it working, all of it visible, all of it finished to a standard that Maurice Lacroix's price point makes almost unreasonably generous. The distinctive five-sided case architecture of the Aikon, those flat angled facets meeting at precise geometric edges, frames the skeleton movement with an urban architectural drama that makes the overall composition feel designed rather than merely assembled. Alternating brushed and polished surfaces on the case and bracelet add further dimension, and the overall package wears with a contemporary confidence that no vintage-inspired watch can match in a modern city environment. What makes the Aikon Skeleton truly exceptional at its price is not merely that it is a skeleton watch. Skeleton watches exist at every price point, but that it is a skeleton watch finished with genuine care, housed in a case of genuine design distinction.